Good morning, everyone. I am late. I am 5 minutes late. I did not time myself very well this morning, and yes, late. Jen and Pins is here. Morning, Peeps. Hope everyone is well. Very well, thank you. How are you? Elena says, hello, lovely shining Peeps. Hello. Lollapalooza says, morning all. Finally up early enough to catch a beginning. Sorry. Tristan's here. Good morning. Caroline says, morning all. Happy Sunday. Good morning. Laurie says, morning from North Carolina. Good morning. Nimue says, good morning, everyone. I'm awake, but back in bed with my first cup of tea. Did you have a nice time, Nimue? Your dress looked lovely. I'm going to put my slippers on because I have my titty, basically what I get to and from house shoe ballet flats on. And my little feet's in at one. Oh, yep, just had an email to say that I've gone live, so that's good. Yeah, I finished cutting out yesterday and started sewing, and I've got the skirt and the majority of the bodice sewn together. So the reason I stopped is because I need interfacing on my facing pieces, and I haven't cut that out yet. And I'd been cutting out so much I couldn't face it yesterday, but I need to do it today. Or I could switch over to my denim skirt, which I am quite tempted to do. I am quite tempted to switch over to the denim skirt because I've got navy thread on the machine, and I do need some interfacing for that, but I don't know. What should I do? What do you think? Debbie's here. Morning. Conchetta's here. Hi, Peeps. Hello. Debbie Designs says, good evening from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening. Sandra's here. Hi, Peeps from Australia. Hello. Jane says, hi all. Greetings from Bristol. Hello. Nimue says, we had a wonderful party. My feet are still telling me about all the dancing I've done. The dress was beautifully too early. Got home at 1:30. Wow. Mim's here. Hello, everybody. Hello. I'm glad you had a lovely time. Yes. What do you think I should do? Oh, look. Kittenish Behaviour has gone live, and also my chess app is telling me that I ought to come and do some simple puzzles so that I improve at chess. But I used to play chess with my ex, and kind of lost my enthusiasm for it, and he lost his enthusiasm for it when I beat him a couple of times. And yeah, he was not a good loser. There were so many red flags. How did I ignore them all? Anyway, never mind. Carmen says, hello, Shannon Peeps. I hope everything is doing well and everyone is everything. Everyone is doing well and is healthy. Very thank you. Radivia says, good morning, Peeps. Good morning. What should I do? Elena says, I love your jumper. It's so in a Sian and appropriate colours. I know, I very rarely wear this one. When I was getting dressed this morning, I don't know if you've watched the last waffle last week. Sorry, there was only 2 videos. I fully intended there to be 4, but never mind. The last waffle, I'm doing my I can't wear any dresses month, except for Halloween, when I'm going to wear my Brains and Beauty, if I make my Brains and Beauty in time. Words are hard. What was I saying? Yes, I was getting dressed this morning, and usually I would put on a scuba dress and tights, but today I have gone for one of my little jumpers and my jogging bottoms. I need to make another pair of these. These ones are fine, but they have pilled all over, and I think I need to make another pair out of Ponte again that just look a bit smarter, because these do feel a bit scruffy. I mean, I would go out of the house dressed like this, and I probably will, but yeah. I got this fabric from Miekkie. It was got a t-shirt, lots of short sleeve t-shirt on underneath, which was a mistake. I should have put long sleeve one on, but never mind. Yeah, got the fabric from Miekkie, which is the Polish fabric shop that Alex told me about. Excuse me. I've got a frog in my throat. A little bit of dust flowing around in the room or something. It's probably the corduroy. That bloody corduroy gets everywhere. Words are hard. What was I saying? Yes, Alex told me about this website, and I bought a meter of this, and I bought her a meter of a few pretty prints, and then just hoarded them for ages. And a couple of years ago now, I think it was, I decided to work my way through all of my pretty prints and get them done. And so I've made them all into this sort of jumper because I just enjoy wearing it, and went for the green um, to match the look, to bring out the little green bits. So yes, very seasonally appropriate. Anna's here. Hiya, all, and wow, loving what you're wearing. Oh, thank you, thank you. I actually don't have the heating on down here either. It's currently 19 degrees. I came down yesterday and I was wearing, oh, you haven't seen it yet. I'm working with Lily Silk again. I can actually tell you because the stuff arrived yesterday and I got to unbox it. And actually there was like, everything was in a box. Oh my goodness. But yes, the video won't be coming out until the 18th of November. But I couldn't wait that long to wear the things. So I wore one of the pieces yesterday underneath the cashmere jumper that they'd given me previously, and a dress with a skirt on over the top. So I had a silk t-shirt, silk roll neck t-shirt, cashmere jumper, viscose dress, denim skirt, tights. Came down here and I was baking, absolutely baking. So I didn't turn the heating on. So Dad's going to be really happy. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I also got sent a bag to review from a company called Teddy Blake. I'd never heard of them before, but oh my goodness, their bags are gorgeous. They are expensive. I will tell you now, they are expensive, but they are very obviously influenced by far more expensive designers, and the prices that they do theirs for handcrafted in Italy full leather is actually really good, and usually what I charge for a bag around 450 quid. But they've sent me a bag to review, and it's going to go beautifully with my 5-piece capsule collection, so you'll be seeing that bag in that as well. It was so exciting when they messaged me and they were like, we'd like to send you a bag to have a look at, and I'm like, are you sure you've got the right person? And they said yes, and I was like, okay. So it was very exciting. And I've never had a bag that dinky before as well, so I need to make myself a smaller wallet. My NCW does not fit in it. Yeah. Oh, and my Facebook, I'm sorry, I'm very chatty today, but that's not a bad thing, is it, given that I'm supposed to be chatting to you for a couple of hours. My Facebook memories told me that I made my first NCW 7 years ago, 2 days ago. And I was just like, wow. I haven't made one for a very long time because I was offering them on Patreon, and I wasn't offering them for enough money on Patreon at all. It was $100, which is a lot of money. I do understand that is a lot of money. But for the amount of time and product, that covered the products, that didn't cover my time. So I stopped doing it for a while. Yeah, I did make a lot of them, which kind of put me off making them for a while. But I do want to make a different type of wallet, a smaller one. So yes. Chris says, good evening, Sean and Peeps. Good evening. Conchetta says, Nimue, that dress is beautiful. Glad you had a wonderful night. Elena says, I watch Waffles religiously. Alex is here. Hi, Sean and Peeps. Hope you're all well. Very well, Alex. Thank you. I was saying that this is from the fabric company that you introduced me to, this French terry, and it is lovely. Teresa says, good morning, everyone from Wisconsin. Love your top. My husband and I are going to a fun store this morning, so I'll have to tune in for the rest of the hangout later today. Oh, enjoy yourself. Which fun store are you going to? Anna says, hi to Alex. How are you? So Felicia says, good evening, everyone. Broke a few rules today. Cut out a t-shirt without pre-washing the fabric. Hope you all enjoyed your weekend. You little rebel, you. Diana says, hello, Peeps and Sean. I missed you all. We're traveling for the holy days. While you were gone, we found we're moving to Prague for sure. Oh, cool. Nimue says, I have jogging bottoms on my list as well. My old ready-to-wear ones are about to disintegrate. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning to the, do I try some like true jogging bottoms? The Hudson springs to mind. Is that the True Bias ones? But then I'd have to buy it, and I do like these ones, and I feel more me in these ones, so maybe I should stick with what I do know and like. So yeah. Karen says, good morning, all. Good morning. Alex says to Anna, I'm very well, thank you, Anna. Hope things are well with you too. Jennifer says, good evening, Peeps from rural Victoria, Australia. Good evening. Anna says to Alex, yeah, so, missed you. Nimoy says, thank you to Conchetta. Alex says, I do like your jumper, Shan, and it's perfect for the season. I need to check this shop again. It is dangerous. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. Yes. No, after Alex introduced me to it, like I say, I struggled. I struggled and like 4 meters of different prints ended up in my basket. It's very strange. Don't know how that happened. As Lee says, hello everyone. Love the sweatshirt, Shan. Thank you. Marie says, morning everyone. I have a poorly husband today, so I've left him in bed so I can watch you and sew up my baton cardigan. Nice. Marie, I have started on my 5 pieces from one project. My pinafore dress, says the skirt. Here is the bodice. I'm getting there. I only stopped. I would have carried on last night. I was about 20 past 7 when I stopped, but I needed to cut out some interfacing. And having just spent an entire week cutting things out, I couldn't face it. So I stopped. So I was thinking maybe I should carry on, get some interfacing cut out with you guys now and carry on with pinafore, or I could move on to the skirt. I think the skirt's the bit that you finished, isn't it, Marie? Get the skirt sewn together because I need to bind the edges and sew it together and then sew the lining for the skirt together as well. So what should I do? Yeah, what should I do? Should I carry on with the pinafore or start on the skirt? And the minute you start telling me what I should do, I'm going to be like, I want to do the other thing. Anna says, could you put the link into the Peeps group, maybe, please? Yes, sure. It is, Alex, if I get this wrong, because I did the other day, I missed out an I. It's Miekkie. Miekkie. I'm probably saying that incredibly badly. But if I forget, because we all know what I'm like, ask me and I will put it up in the Peeps group, unless Alex doesn't mind doing that if you're near a computer. And that would be all right, Alex. That would be awesome. But I did buy this at least 3 years ago. I don't think they have this print anymore. Nimoy says, I don't like jogging bottoms with cuffs at the ankle. They always ride up with the way I sit down and don't slip again. I altered the Stella to a wide leg. Yes. That's what I'm thinking as well. I did try and make some jogging bottoms that were gathered in at the cuffs, and I ended up with clown pants, so maybe not. Gin and Pin says, it's been a warm autumn this year, at least here in the northeast of the UK, so I haven't switched my heating on yet. Might do some more hand stitching, perhaps by candlelight to save electric. Yes. Mum and Dad have been having fires in their log burner, and the front room has been very toasty. And if it wasn't for the cat, I might have gone down and sat there with my laptop and my headphones in so I can watch what I want to watch, because they watch TV that you have to read. They watch like French TV and I can't be doing, and they watch really depressing crime dramas and stuff like that, which I also can't deal with. They just know. But I don't want to abandon Shiana, so I didn't. I just got under my dovet. I'm going to get my quilt out, I think, soon as well, because my room is chilly and my radiator's broken and the guy's not coming to fix it until the beginning of November. Lala Palooza says, finish the pinafore for sure. It's a mouthful. Alex says, it means soft in Polish. Was I even close with the pronunciation, Alex? Sorry. Marie says, ooh, I can't wait to see yours. Predictive text supposed to say hearten cardigan. I keep putting off my pinafore dress. Oh, guys, I switched fabrics on you as well. Can you see the gingham? The gingham is back in the stash. And my mum's neighbour, well, my neighbour as well, but our neighbour bought over a bunch of fabrics. She bought over a load of fabrics, one of which is silk. She gave me like meters and meters and meters of purple silk, and it's like a taffeta. It sounds like a taffeta. It does have a few slabs on it, but it's not as thick as the other dupionis I've got and other dupionis I've seen. But yeah, she bought over a bunch of fabric, picked out the ones that she liked, but she left The silk for me because it was purple and Mum doesn't like purple. And then also this stripe. Look. So this is the collar. I really like those together, and it is a print, so it's a stripe obviously rather than the gingham. But for the gingham, I was really struggling. For me, gingham kind of reads spring summer, and I think it's a throwback from school uniforms, to be honest. When I was thinking about it the other day, it's like, why does this scream spring summer to me? And so I was thinking, like, you know, do I do the long sleeve shirt with a tie front with the rollback sleeves? Do I do like the long line shirt with the long sleeves and then a crop tie front shirt with sleeveless? Especially if I kind of did solid white fabric for the collar and the revere. I think that would look really nice, and I think I'm actually going to probably do that. But I was just like, oh, I don't know. And then Mum bought that fabric and left it for me to have a look at. And I was just like, yes, the stripes look awesome with the print. And I've gone for the slimmer sleeve. I've added the cuff and the continuous lap to it. I have no idea if it's going to work. It's an experiment. There was only about like 1.20 meters of this fabric, but it was super wide. I have a hot chocolate as well. I'm really chatty this morning, aren't I? Sorry. Why do I keep saying sorry? It's not a bad thing. That's what we're here for, to chat, isn't it? So yeah, I deviated from my plan and I went for stripes, as opposed to, you saw the stripes in the 3 rules video. But yeah, that's where the stripes came from. And I've also put my plaid back in with the Anaconda Antithesis collection, which comes through her. I've put that back in there because I do think I'm going to like the cardamom dress, but I do think I want that as a shirt. I do think I want that as the Bruyere. Having worn the Bruyere for that styling lookbook that I did, I do think I'm going to want that as the Bruyere shirt, which is what it was bought for. So that's gone back in there. Elena says you probably will end up making the skirt. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to end up making the skirt because I don't have to cut anything out. And if I have to cut out, then I have to move you guys around. And yeah, I'm going to end up with hot chocolate all over my gob as well. I'm such an elegant creature. Justin UK is here. Hello. Marie says, oh, we do the same. They are quite brutal, these French crime dramas. Yeah. I'm just, I don't think I want to watch it. I think when it gets really cold, I will end up coming down. I don't know what I'm going to do about the cat. She decided that she wanted to go and have a look around the house yesterday. She's never been a door dasher, as Jackson Galaxy calls them. But yesterday I opened the door and she was like, nope, I want to explore the house. So she went downstairs and she went into Mum and Dad's room, and then she ran across their bed. So there's little kitty paw prints across their bed. And then she was desperately trying to get into the kitchen. So I picked her up, took her into the kitchen and sat down in the front room with her. And she was mowing at the top of her little lungs. And then the dog was asleep on Mum's lap and didn't even wake up to any of the mowing. And sort of she kind of like saw that the dog was there and was just like, okay, I'll be quiet. And she sort of sat on my lap for a little bit. I didn't let her go because if I had, I think she might have made a dash for freedom. And I really don't want the two of them to. Mind you, the dog's blind. I think Chiana would have the upper hand, but still, it's not fair. She'd end up with a bloody nose again. The last time they met, she ended up with a bloody nose because she shoved her nose in Chi's face, so Chi swatted at her, and her claws are sharp. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do about. I can't leave Chiana alone all day and all night. But I have got my 15 tog duvet on. I've got a blanket on. I can get Mum's quilt out, put that on. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Alex says, I've added the link to the Facebook group with the Polish pronunciation in the comments. Not that it matters much. It's not an easy thing to say. Thank you, Alex. Let's have a look. How far off was I? Oh, it's a listen to it kind of a deal. Thank you, Alex. So Anna, it's in the Facebook group. That was very kind of you, Alex. Very kind of you indeed. Jenny Pin says, unfortunately, I'm going to have to go fabric shopping this week. Oh no, you poor thing. I need to make some dungarees for an 80s disco night and buy a pattern, thinking of the Yanta. I don't know of any dungarees patterns that are very 80s. I have the Closet Core Jenny overalls, and I have the Simplicity reprint of the Land Girl ones, but I don't know of any 80s ones. And I don't know what the Yanta look like. Conchetta says, really hot chocolate. I'm so disappointed that Hotel Chocolat closed all the US stores. I bought some from DC and my family loved it. The closing thwarted my holiday gift plans. How dare it? And Conchetta says, also, you seem more excited about the denim skirt. Do that one first. It's just because it's going to be easier. I'm really excited to see how this pinafore comes out, though. I am loving this fabric, and oh yes, it's fully lined in, this is called Spectrum Blue, and it's even got its own narrow rolled hem. I really went to town last night. The only downside is I ran out of the gold bias binding. I got 3 seams bound in the gold and then ran out. I don't know what I was thinking. I looked at the roll. I was like, yeah, that'll do it. It's like, no, it really won't. So yeah, the skirt, not that you'll ever really see it because it's fully lined, but the skirt has got multiple colours of bias binding on the insides of it. I have plenty of the navy though, so that's fine. Plenty of the navy, and I will buy some more of the old gold because it is a really lovely colour that I like a lot. But yes, because I've stopped taking photos of the insides of things again, haven't I? Sorry, I need to write myself, like, because I have my little flashcards for which video I'm doing so that I can hold them up before I start chatting. It just makes the editing process easier. I need to laminate one of these with like things that I need for it. So I need like the video, the photos of the front, the back, up close, far away, insides, and pattern and fabric, and notions photo as well, because I really like how those turn out. And do you guys on Instagram, do you prefer like sort of like, sorry, like the layout like that? I really like how those look. I never showed you the final finished bag of that, did I? Do you guys prefer the kind of like stacked bunch of photos, so all of the different views of one particular thing stacked together, so like 5 photos of the same dress from all those different angles? Or do you prefer individual photos? Mind you, nobody really uses Instagram. Oh, hello, Siri's on. No, bye Siri. Nobody really uses Instagram anymore, do they? So yeah. Oh, there was a few people saying that they hadn't seen my dressmaker's ball dress as well. If you want to see what I wore, then it was the Margot maxi dress, and it's on Instagram. Hello, Father.
Good morning.
Papa's here.
I find these bags in here, do I?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, they're in the bottom drawer. Let me hang on. Hang on. I'll come do.
What a medium size.
Chat to the peeps.
Hello, people.
You'll be pleased to know I haven't turned the heating on, and it didn't get 17 last night.
You make me sound like a meanie.
No.
I'm.
No. The way I say it is because you're not a lizard like Mum and I.
Oh no.
No, he's always hot.
Yeah.
He's always hot, but he's far more.
I've been hot all my life.
Yes. You're far more active than we are, and that's why I think Mum and I, everything that we do is very sedentary.
No, I spend a lot of time outside.
Yeah.
You don't.
No, and what we do is very sedentary, so we sit down and we don't move, and you move a lot.
Yeah.
So no, it's because Mum and I are lizards. You're not a lizard.
No.
Right, packing box.
That insulating the sewing room.
Yeah, I need to buy more fabric.
Bottom, top, and all around the sides paid off.
Oh, somebody wanted to know what flooring we used in here.
Oh, it's standard industry stuff you find in houses. It's sheet board
We're going to
that's
do
a treated board, and then but it's an underlay board. It's not a finish on it. Oh no, bigger
two
than that.
weenie.
Yeah, and then we painted on an industrial non-slip paint on top. But the board is very strong. You'll find it in modern house builds.
Yeah, and we are going to. The only thing that needs finishing is the table, and we're going to get that done next month, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah. And once that's done, we're going to do the reveal of the sewing room. And so for the construction bits, do you need bigger than this?
Why? Is this slightly bigger?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have the next one up there.
I have mini packing bags.
That's the baby. Thank you very much.
But yeah, we'll do a video. I've got it from when it had holes in the back over there. Like the very start. I've got it right from there. So I'm gonna do a like, this is how we did it all, and what we started with and what we turned it into. And I will get you in to do a little bit of chat about the brackets that we used for this table and the floor properly. Yep. So it'll be in that video.
They came from America. Well, they didn't come from it. They did originally come from America.
Ah.
That's an American idea. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Do you just need one? I thought you needed 3.
No, I've got 3 items to go in it. Oh no! I've done the other ones.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I recycled some other Amazon packaging.
But that's where these all live.
Amazon packaging. God, what a waste.
Yeah, when they
big box, tiny item.
When they were sending Mum's eyeliner in like a giant box, it's a little bit silly.
I'm lingering now because I can't.
Yeah, I'm in the way.
Until bye.
Oh, what do you think of my skirt of my pinafore before you go, Dad?
Oh, sorry.
What do you think of the skirt of my pinafore before we go?
Oh, lovely.
Right. Hello. I hope you don't feel seasick. Oh, there we go. Where do we get to? Conchetta said, oh no, I've read that one, haven't I? I'm sorry that Hotel Chocolat are no longer in the US. They are delicious. Nimue says, the skirt sounds, yes, I've read that one as well, haven't I? Where did I get to? So Felicia says, I've been binge watching Liz So's bra making in the last week and just ordered some fabric and casings. We'll be ordering one of the patterns I watched her make to try. I need to get over my fear. I need to work out what size underwires I get, and then I just need to try. But we all know next year is my year of things that scare me, and I think lingerie is going to be one of them. I've got a list of 12 already, but I think I'm going to change a few of them up. Yeah. It'll be fine. Tristan says, I like individual photos. Even if it's like 5 continuous photos of the same garment. What do you think? Yes, but you said you like individual photos. Nimue says, hi to Dad. Saskia says, definitely stacked and I use Instagram. I don't have Facebook. Ah, interesting. Jen Pin says, I saw your dressmaker's ball gown. Haven't gotten around to posting mine yet. I'm following you, Jen Pins, aren't I? I think I am. Conchetta says, I'm old. I still use Instagram. I like the stacked option. And good morning to the whiff. Alana says, I'm having a huge problem. I just finished knitting and weaving my ends of my new beret and now can't decide, should I put a fleece lining in it for winter? It was very lovely to see you. Yes. Ooh, I still need to finish off that one that Nimue made for me. I need to get Mum to show me how to. Ooh, I could take that to the Stitch and Bitch on Thursday because we're going again, which is good. I'm going to leave my hem to be hand sewn at the Apley Beach Cafe sewing meetup. Nimue says, if I remember, I still use Instagram. I've been terrible Instagrammer the last 2 years or so. Never even shared my Make 9 plans. Yeah, I mean, I've got 6,388 followers on Instagram. Wow. I hadn't even noticed that. Mind you, I'm following 2,890 people. I think what's weird for me is Instagram just keeps recommending new people to me, not my people that I follow. And it's nice because I get like a lot of artists. I do follow a lot of art on there. But it's just kind of like odd. The feed isn't chronological. But then saying that, when I turned it chronological, because I know you can, I hated it. I didn't like how it looked. So yeah, I don't know. I very rarely use stories as well. I don't think I'm utilizing Instagram as well as I can be. I don't post on there very often at all. I want to get better at my photography. All of my images come out blurry, and that's because I'm just taking screenshots from the twirls. Like I now do a twirl for the video, and then I stop that, start again, and then do a short video of what are going to be poses for pictures, because my camera doesn't have access to put a remote on it, and the timer is just trying to do it. The timer is a nightmare. Dad's camera has got I can put the remote on Dad's camera, so I might bring that down and start doing that, and just put it on autofocus. Dad's got a really fancy camera, so I might start doing that. I don't know, but I do want the photography to be better. I can't expect it to just to get better. So yeah. Liz, so Felicia says Liz mentioned she made a bra because you asked her. Yes, the Boylston bra that's the one I really want to learn how to make. It's the shape that I love, and I have a feeling that and maybe the Black Beauty might be the only bras that I ever make, because they're the shapes that I love. Like a balconette bra, I just prefer that on me. I've got enough boobs that I don't need to kind of like give myself cleavage with like the kind of. So yeah, she did, bless her. She was very kind and made that one up for me years ago, and I still have not plucked up the courage to make one for myself. And she even did a video of how to pick your own underwires and which underwires you should go for, and still I have not plucked up the courage to do that. I think that's one of the things with the patterns that I've got. They don't give you a recommendation of what shape of underwire to even look for. So I'm a little bit all at sea, but I haven't really tried to properly dig into it and properly research and properly learn how to do it, because it's something that scares me. So it's going to go on my list of things that scare me and that will get done next year. So I'm going to try. We all know how my plans work out, but in my head, my plans for next year are to dedicate each month to a thing that scares me. And my make 9 for next year is going to be from Charm Patterns, and those make 9 pieces go in with the things that scare me. So fingers crossed that it will kind of work together and get done. I'm also going for red, because I want to use this amazing suiting that one of you lovely lot gave me as a present. And I have some other red fabrics, like my African wax print. Where? It's over there somewhere. So yeah, my African wax print. So corseted dresses, boning, those kinds of things. So I think my output next year is going to be a lot lower, which will make some people happy. But hopefully it should be interesting. Hopefully it should be interesting, and hopefully I'm not setting myself too bigger goals to achieve each month. Hopefully. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Anna says, do you know any chance the professional photographer at the Dressmaker Ball has released his pictures? I've no idea. I would imagine Crafty So-and-so will do a blog post with a link to the Flickr account, but I haven't seen anything as yet. Christine says, I also use Facebook as I also use Instagram as I don't have Facebook. Tristan says, yes, I like that. I look at Instagram more than anything. H says, I like stacked pictures. It's best for getting a good idea of the pattern. That said, doesn't mean you can't share a few individual ones after that initial post. A lot of people do that. This is true. This is true. I'm just trying to think, because I really like the flat lays of like the pattern with the fabric and the notions over it. I think they look really nice. And I took a few of them and I just haven't posted them. Mind you, I haven't also posted like the finished garment as well, but I really like how that looks. But if you put it in a stack, it gets buried. So I'm just trying to think, maybe I should do it as a like, this is what I'm working on, and then not forget to put up the finished item. Yeah. Nimue says, I hate that Insta keeps pretending I have notifications and it's just them trying to guess what I'd like, who I might know. Makes me ignore the app altogether. Yeah. Oh. There's lots of little birdies on the feeders. They're covered. They're all great tips, I think. Oh no, there's a couple of chaffinches as well. They're covered. Like every little perch on the bird feeder has got a little birdie on it. So there's like 5 or 6 on each feeder. And they're dropping loads on the floor. They're so cute. Sorry, distracted. Not by killer pigeons this time. I really should finish this as well before it gets cold. Elena says, I follow you pretty much everywhere, but I do that with everyone I watch on YouTube. That's another thing. It's like this fine line of, I've signed up to TikTok. But it's this fine line of like, how many platforms do I create unique content for, or can I recycle content onto different platforms? Like with TikTok, I'm totally going to recycle stuff. If I do shorts on YouTube, they're going to go up on TikTok. And yeah, I don't think I'm the audience over on TikTok is my demographic kind of thing. I think. I don't know. I do like seeing outfit of the days. Just need to work out how to film them. Chrysula says you could also just post snippets of the twirls too. Instagram favors videos either way. This is true. I really ought to use stories more on Instagram as well to announce videos have gone live and things like that. I'm not very good at social media. Jin and Pin says, I was more active on Instagram, but realised I haven't posted since June. Played hell with the algorithm, but so many random things come up. Yes. So Felicia says, you should watch her Bra Making 101 series. She's got great tips for finding the right wire, fabrics, etc. We'll share my attempt in the group. Awesome. Yes, I have watched all of Liz's videos. I love Liz. So she's her and Bianca are my secret girl crushes. I love them both. Mind you, now that I've told you, it's not so secret girl crush, is it? They're just my girl crushes. I love them both. I have a whole collection of lingerie patterns that I have bought based on the things that Liz has made. I just need to pluck up the courage. So yeah, like I say, 1 month next year will be lingerie month. Maybe February. Eleanor says next year will be a year of revelation for you. Yes. And like I said, my videos that have got like epic fail or this didn't work are the ones that seem to do the best. They do seem to do better than my other videos. So yeah, I don't know what that says about you lot as an audience. I am joking, obviously. It could be really funny because this year of projects that scare me, and then it'd be like, you were not ready for this. But I bought this earlier this year, but like halfway into the year, and I'm going to turn it into a sewing journal. So I bought a B5 Otogami notebook. It's got a little pen loop, and it's dot grid. Yeah, I think it even came with stickers. Did I leave the stickers in here? I did. It came with stickers. So I'm going to turn this into my notebook for my year of projects that scare me. I'm gonna work out how many pages there are in here by looking at the listing. And then I'm going to give myself some beginning pages for like project notes and things like that. And then I'm going to divide it up into a year so that there's like, 10 pages per month or something. And like write down each project that I do, like what the goal of that month was going to be, what projects I do, the things that I've learned along the way, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I am doing a bullet journal for next year as well. I'm probably going to do the same thing that I did for this year and just pre-do the entire thing. I've already started a little bit in here. It's so cute. I'm going to do it slightly differently to how I did it this year because this year I printed it all on Canva, and I think I am going to they keep falling over. I think I'm going to do the same thing, but like I've got so many washi tapes and stickers and things like that. So I think I'm going to try and do like the collage one that I see like Plant-Based Bride and Mochi Bujo do for their reading journals, because I really like how they look. So yeah, I think that's the plan. When I'm going to make those up, I don't know. I'm planning on December, like I think I told you guys. Yes, because Gin and Pins, was it Gin and Pins or Gig Racer said Knitmas? Because it's going to be all my knit projects. I'm going to work my way through this. Like my thistles. Yeah, these are all going to get made up into things. I would like to condense this down. I would like to get my knit fabrics into 2 cubes rather than 3 that it's over. So that's the idea, is to sew up one bunch of this. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm all over the place today, aren't I? Sorry. Anyway, where did I get to? Anna says I am more Instagram than Facebook. Anna says what frustrates me is all their ads, just too many of them. They're quite good at serving me ads for things that I like, though. They've learnt my preferences, so I don't mind the ads so much, because I generally get ads for things that I'm like, oh yeah, I want that. Anyway, it says, like your plans for next year, don't forget to like the stream, peeps. Yes, there's 116 of us and 40 likes, so please do give it a thumbs up. I promise it really helps. Natalie says, I'm late. Did I miss it? Was there sewing? Not yet. I've been drinking my hot chocolate and chatting at you. Yeah, no, not sewing within the first hour, but we are going to get to some sewing. Let's turn the sewing machine on. Come on, little baby. Let's turn it on and see if that helps. You guys know me so well. So Felicia says, ooh, Valentine's Day lingerie. Maybe. I have a whole box of notions and fabrics and stuff for it, don't I? Because of my advent calendar last year. So yeah, maybe. Christula says, sorry to comment again. I work in marketing and generally Insta, TikTok, etc. is used to drive traffic to whoever brings you profits, i.e. YouTube or Patreon. It's totally normal to recycle content. Thank you. I thought it was, but thank you for reaffirming that. Yes. Yeah. Yes, I need to use those things better. Yeah. Conjetta says next year's makes sound exciting. They should be. I'm looking forward to it. there will be quite a lot of TNTs thrown in because TNTs make me feel better about myself if things go horribly wrong in other projects. So yeah, I know that's not going to appeal to everybody, but I have to do what works for me. So yes, lots of new and exciting, and then hopefully lots of TNTs too. Anna says February is Valentine's month, so that could be helpful for those that might want to make their own and get inspiration. Yes. Yes. Nimue says, we are the ones that watch all of your stuff. It's the peeps only jumping on the epic fail videos that need to worry about their psyche. Yeah. H says, I did a bra sewing course at the new craft house. They chose my wire size for me. Amazed that I had a full bra in less than a day. I think that's one thing that I am going to love about lingerie making is how many things I can make. And then it's going to annoy people that I'm making so many of them. But the other side of thing is as well the Boylston bra, which is the one that I like. If I cut woven fabric on the bias, I can use woven fabric for it, which means I can have Savannah lingerie, people. I can have Savannah in lingerie. So yeah, sorry, I got excited there. Lollapalooza says, I've been procrastinating on cutting out my houndstooth plaid wool suiting for a blazer. Any tips for pattern matching? Right. Personally, what I like to do, houndstooth, how big is the houndstooth? For a start. But what I like to do is I will, on my pattern piece, I will cut out on a single layer and position, like draw your seam allowances in as well. That will help with pattern matching. And then flip the actual piece that you've cut out and use that as your template for its corresponding piece. And you put it on the fabric, and you get it on grain and flat till it disappears. So that's my way of making sure that I have mirrored images of my front pieces. So yeah. Susan says, hi everyone, sorry I'm so late. What fun has been had? I have just been waffling at you. I haven't done any sewing yet. And is anyone surprised? No, you are not. Anna says, I've no idea how ads work. I only get default ads as I never click on anything and never get sewing related ads, which is strange considering all I post is sewing and pets. Yeah, that is weird. But you might have got your privacy settings quite high on your phone. I could imagine that you will. So maybe, I think my phone listens to me. Mum and I were talking about Oodies and what an Oodie was. And then suddenly I started getting served all these adverts for Oodies. So my phone listens to me. And do you know what? It's not the end of the world for me because I get served things that actually interest me more often than not. I don't really know about the rest of it. I mean, my location data is here in my room backwards and forwards, and then every 3 weeks going and getting my eyelashes done. I've even stopped going to the cinema. I need to go and see Black Adam. James, my brother, said it was okay, but he wasn't overly impressed, but I really want to go see it. I need to get back into going to the cinema again. But yeah, my for those of you that are in my Patreon, you guys know about my dating disasters, and I told you about Stalker Guy, like the angry guy. He commented on the YouTube again recently, just saying something along the lines of, glad the channel's still going strong, with a little arm emoji, and would love to meet up for a drink again at some point. It's like, dude, you are blocked on everything. And the only reason I hadn't blocked him on YouTube is because if I block somebody on YouTube, the comment disappears. And I'd taken a screenshot of it, but I wanted the physical evidence of, like, look, he's Instagram, Facebook, Messenger on my computer, like everywhere. And he messaged again, and he was just like, yeah, it'd be great to meet up again. And it's like, what part of how you reacted to me saying thank you but no thank you, and you going off like on a massive rant at me, like, makes you think that I want to just, no, you're not, like, if that's how you handle a mild disappointment, then ugh. So yeah. Yeah, that's another reason I've not been leaving the house. I've still got Rachel's fabric. I'm holding Rachel's fabric hostage. I bought it at the Festival of Quilts in August. It's in its bag. It's ready to go. But I'm really not leaving the house. My location history is literally here and over there. Anyway, that was a random tangent, wasn't it? Danielle says, ooh, a blazer. I'm looking for a blazer pattern to sew for spring, summer here in Australia, perhaps in chiffon or rayon. Oh my goodness. Any pattern suggestions, please? Do you follow Julia Bobbin? She is an Australian Instagrammer, and oh my goodness, her blazer tailoring is amazing. She uses one from Vicky Sews, I think. That one could look really cool in organza. Wouldn't do it in rayon. I wouldn't do it in chiffon either, actually. But maybe if you went for like one of the Friday pattern company, they have like a really slouchy, oversized one that could work. In chiffon or rayon. But yeah, the blazers that I'm thinking of they'd be difficult to do, but they would look good in organza because organza has some structure. But yeah, like you mean like a slouchy kind of oversized one. Box 3D says, just arrived, Peeps. Very good morning for you all. Good morning to you. Conchetta says, would making slips and camis be a gentle way to enter into lingerie month? Maybe less scary, possibly. Although one of the things that Lily Silk sent me was a emerald green lacy silk camisole, and oh my god, the construction on that thing, it's French seamed. They have bias bound the edges where the lace and the silk meet with bias binding that's ended up being 1/4 of an inch wide. And this is floopy silk charmeuse that they've made this bias binding out of. The quality of this thing, and I think the camisole's like £70. So it's not cheap, but the quality of the craftsmanship on it and the amount of time that goes into making that thing, I am impressed with the price point on that thing. But again, you'll be seeing that on the video in November. But yeah, they've sent me a silk t-shirt, a cashmere jumper, the camisole, and the silk shirt. Got big sleeves with lace insets, and it's just so pretty, and it's just so well made, like so well made. And we all know how I feel about making plain things. So yeah. Box 3D arrived. Good. Just arrived, Peeps. Good morning all. Good morning. Lollapalooza says, try Simplicity 8844. Seems simple enough, but it's not lined, but that's easy enough to do. Debbie says, my main plan is to tame my horrendously messy craft room so I can actually do some sewing. Nice. Susan says, no snakes and bugs in your no snakes and bugs in your smalls. Yeah, I definitely want some Cobra Corsage underwear as well. Sorry, not sorry. Nimue says, I barely ever get ads that are relevant for me on any platform. Still trying to teach YouTube that I will not procreate ever. Leave me alone with all the baby related stuff. Wow. Yeah, every now and again I was getting some clear blue like fertility testing sticks, and it was like, do you not know me? They've got away now. Yeah, like no. Danielle says, yes, slouchy and comfy. I think Friday Pattern Company has a really good one. But definitely follow Julia Bobbin on Instagram anyway, just because like her hand sewn buttonholes are things of beauty. So yes. Karen says, good evening from Brisbane. Hope everyone is well. Very well, thank you. Natalie says, if you're talking about the heather blazer, they recommend interfacing all the pieces, I think. Probably not good pattern for a floppy fabric. Ah, okay. Yes, I think that was what I was talking about. Ooh, how about the Victoria blazer from By Hand London? That one could work. Very relaxed fit. Ali Stitchfinger says, good morning, Sean. I've been MIA been on a sewing retreat, haven't forgotten I have some fabric for you. Do go for the lingerie. It's nowhere near as hard as you think. Yes, just finding those underwires. Working out what size and what type of underwire I need for the type of bra that I want to make. I will do it. Like I say, in what year of things that scare me. Right. Okay, so there's, believe it or not, that's going to be a dress. I can go over there, and that's going to be a skirt. And there's my waistcoat. That can stay there. So skirt. And yes, that's the right thing. So waistband and facing pieces. But we need to bind the edges of the denim. It's got lots and lots of corduroy fluff on it as well. So this is the front pieces. So this is the back. So let's start with binding the back pieces. Actual sewing. Who even am I? How was your sewing retreat, Ali? Sorry, I should have asked. How was your sewing retreat? Was it fun? What did you make? H says, I changed my age on Facebook to 99 years. That stopped the baby and engagement ring ads. Awesome. Awesome. Right. So I've got my pins in here to delineate which part is the centre back, because I don't put words are hard. What don't I put? I don't put notches into the centre back. Besides, I'm covering the notches up with the bias binding. So Nimue laughing at HSOs, says the things the algorithm make us do, I'll keep that in mind. Ali says it was brilliant. 25 ladies and 3 cottages made by Annie bags and Baker Boy hats. Nice. Anna says I'm about 100 now on Facebook. I like it. I like it. I'm seriously thinking about deleting my Facebook personal page because I just don't use it anymore. But I think I need one to have like my business page, because that's the only part of Facebook that I use is my business page. Oh, hello. No, we don't have that one on. We've got this one on. Yes. What's going on? Okay. It's better. Actual sewing. There we go. There we go. You can. That's better. Get the framing right. Natalie says, I get a lot of car and banking ads. It's like YouTube is rubbing in the fact that I have no money and my car is always in for repairs. That's a bit rude of it, isn't it? Mine is basically wool, fabric, and sci-fi. I've taught my Facebook well, clearly. I have clearly taught my Facebook well. Oh, the head of the pin stuck. Helena says, and this time it's more than 4 darts. It might end up being 4 lines of bias binding, Helena. So I wouldn't get too excited. It might end up just being 4 lines of stitching again. They're just going to be slightly longer lines of stitching. I've got, hang on, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 projects cut out. Although the waistcoat and the replacement bodice for the Brains of Beauty dress are quite small projects, so they should definitely get done. And I really want to get my Sorrento jacket done as well. And I can sew the Sorrento in a day. It's just going to be the patches. That was one thing that I was going to do today, was try and work out which position the patches should go on. Debbie says, I sometimes deliberately look up stuff I could never afford but would love to get, so I get ads for pretty things. Oh yeah, I get a lot of those as well. I like looking up very expensive jewelry and handbags. So I get a lot of I use Net-a-Porter a lot as well, so I get a lot of Net-a-Porter ads. Porter. Lots of people say it differently. I'm not sure which is correct. You never know. One day they might be like, hello, we'd love to advertise on your channel. I'm like, really? Okay. You know that I think everything on your website is far too expensive. I mean, I don't think it should be cheap, but I do think some of the prices that you have to pay for designer name things is like, what? Jane says, saga with sewing machines. Industrial vibrated far too much and made repetitive strain injury bad. Was so sad, but all sorted. Swapping for Janome HD9 heavy duty semi-industrial coming on Thursday. Excited. Ooh, that is sad and sad and exciting at the same time. You'll have to let us know how you get on with the new one. Nimue says, on Facebook account, when I communicate only in English and like a lot of decidedly liberal posts, Facebook once gave me an ad for a German nationalist party that's on the edge of being forbidden. For reals? Wow. Yeah, my Facebook seems to have learned me quite well. I'm not sure how I managed that. Una's here. Morning all. I'm baking and cooking at the moment. Was watching one of your videos, Sean, and missed you alive. Any keto tips, Sean? Yes. Green Chef is amazing. And you can get fairly decent discounts on the first 4 boxes. And if you only do like the first 4 boxes, you get a bunch of recipes from that with recipe cards on that you can then recreate yourself afterwards. And it's brilliant because they have done all the hard work for you. And it's a good way to start because, again, it's like they've thought it out for you. There is a keto app that I got last year. I don't have it anymore because I didn't really use it towards the end of the year. But it was the purple one. I think it's £27 for the year, and you put in what you're eating, and it will tell you yes or no if it's good on keto. That's helpful when you're eating out. Nando's is great for eating out because you can have that. It's called dirty keto, so you probably shouldn't do it often, but you can have their chicken, and then they do a broccoli side plate. If you do go for Green Chef, Una, let me give you one of our discount codes. Mum and Dad have their account, so it'll be their discount code. But I will, I will dig it out and I can give you the discount code because that way, I think it's like 40% off your first 2 boxes and 20% off the next 2. And then you can either carry it on or you can do what Mum and Dad do and deactivate it until they offer you a discount code again. But yeah, dark chocolate, 70% or darker chocolate is your friend because it gives you that sweet it's not too sweet, and because it's not too sweet, you don't want to eat all of it. And Una says, unpopular opinion, I can't stand Nando's flavour. Ah, interesting. Okay, well, Nando's is not for you then. But yeah, it's doable to eat out. For me, over the summer, bacon and cheese salads were my friend. You shouldn't eat too much pork in a week, but it is definitely an option. So yeah. Again, I am no medical professional, so or diet expert, but that's what we've done. Debbie says, Net-a-Porter, get the look for more. Yes. Yeah, can you imagine? Or getting the pieces in and just being like, oh yeah, this is amazing. You could totally make this with this pattern. It's like I said, when Lily Silk approached me, I was just like, really? Are you sure? And then I looked into it a bit more, and it was like, well, actually, the prices of these things are expensive, but these things, if taken care of and looked after well, are going to last you forever. And I hate sewing solids. I mean, I'm sitting here sewing a solid denim skirt, but you guys know this viscose jersey, I bought like 35 lengths of different colors of it, and I've still got the majority of them in my stash because I just don't enjoy doing it. I would much rather make a printed t-shirt and stuff up. So buying certain things, I mean, I know some people want to have 100% handmade wardrobe, and I'm not getting into lingerie making because I've got that ethos that I want 100% handmade wardrobe. My wardrobe's probably 95% handmade, and I love that. But we got to the point where it's just like recognizing the things that I enjoy sewing and what I don't, and I don't want to make myself do something that I don't like, especially when I can buy something that is well made and not cheap, but because I don't like the cheap, like, throwaway fashion. I want these things to last for a lifetime if they're looked after right. But yeah, there's stuff out there that I'm like, I don't want to make this. I find no pleasure in making this. So yeah, that's not to say that I'm not going to go through all of this jersey and make it up. It's just going to take a long time for me to get there because I would much rather make prints. I have filmed my video that you guys have been asking for, which is the how I pick what I want to make next, or how I pick my next sewing project. And from like fabric choices, I've got 5 points that I go through, and I haven't edited it yet, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah. Silver Fox is here. Good evening. And then it says, oh no, you made me want bacon, and I'm going for a grocery at the moment. Nothing wrong with bacon. Bacon. Sarah says, hi everyone, busy cooking a roast dinner, which is probably not keto. Chocolate Labrador Rosie is very interested. You can totally make a roast dinner keto though. Obviously you can't put flour in the gravy, and no roast potatoes or root vegetables, but you can do a really lovely cauliflower cheese, and Green Chef have a great recipe for that. It's really simple. And then you can sprinkle bacon and cheese over it, and the runnier the sauce is, then use the cheese sauce as your gravy. And so yeah, and I tend to roast my chickens covered in butter anyway, because the idea is you want a high fat content in your meals. It's not high protein, it's high fat. Very low carbs, very high fat. But yeah, you can totally do a roast dinner keto style, just no potatoes. Which I know kind of like takes some of the fun out of it. Mum and Dad and I were talking about what we're going to have for Christmas dinner this year. And they've decided that they're going to cheat on Christmas Day and they're going to have roast potatoes and Yorkshire puddings. Which I kind of think is daft, but they want to, and you know, they are grown adults. So but we're having rusty lamb, which I'm very excited about because I do love a good roasty lamb. And we're going to do rolled breast of lamb as well as a shoulder. And on to the good. Silver Fox says, what are you currently sewing? I am putting bias binding onto the interior seams of the Vogue 9345 skirt. Nimue says, I'm on cooking and baking duty today as well. Mum had nips at Temmie all night and tomorrow is her birthday, so I offered to bake her cake and very simple lunch. Oh, I hope she feels better soon, and happy birthday to Mummy Nimue for tomorrow. Una says, you can make gravy by roasting a few onions, then whiz them up in with the meat juice and a little cider apple vinegar and herbs. That sounds delicious and also very keto friendly. Yeah, I usually make gravy with, like, you know, you get all the excess fat out of the drippings of the meat dish that you've roasted, and then sprinkle flour over it to make a paste, and then put in the stock that you've either made or made up. That was my usual method for gravy, but that way sounds delicious. I like quite thick gravy. Dad likes it quite runny, so there was always an argument about how thick the gravy should be when I'm making it. Silver Fox says, ooh, nice. Sarah says, but what about the apple and blackberry crumble and custard I've made for afterwards? Yeah, probably not so much with the keto, especially the crumble bit. But Mum and Dad also have this book that their friend gave them, like it's keto and then low carb recipes. So like the keto side is for when you're trying to lose weight, and then the low carb side is maintenance. And they have like a clafouti, like a plum clafouti in there, which has got crumble on the top. And there are certain nuts and stuff that you can have, so you can do like the crumble toppings with crushed nuts rather than you know, the breadcrumb, like, you know, usual crumble mix. So there's definitely ways of making your favorite things. I think, you know, like, I never felt hard done by when I'm eating keto. I really need to get back into it because I have massively fallen off the bandwagon. I did when my ex and I broke up, and I just started eating all of my old comfort foods, and I've got massively back into that habit again. And it's not, and I've put weight on again. I've put like 5 pounds back on. It's not the end of the world, but I don't want to go back down that route, and it'd be really easy to go back down that route, especially given how sedentary I am. So I really need to get back into keto. My only complaint about Green Chef is they do meals for 2 or meals for 4. If they did meals for 3, then I would totally be chipping in and getting them with Mum and Dad. But the trouble is, as well, obviously portion sizes, and if we got the meals for 4, then Dad would end up having a larger portion, which is not the point. So yeah, that's my one complaint about Green Chef. Like, Hello Fresh do boxes for 3, but Green Chef, who is the same company, just a different like header, their boxes are 2 or 4. I get it, because for 3, the quantities of certain things needed, they'd need to make different size packaging for those things. So I do understand why, because obviously if it's a box for 2, then you send out 1 of the packets. If it's a box for 4, you send 2 of the packets. But if it's a box for 3, you'd need to send 1 of the packets and then a smaller packet for the 3rd person. So I do understand why they do it, but it would be nice if it was an option. But yeah, I need to stop comfort eating. I still am. still am, but you know what? It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. HUSO says, just put the last buttons on the work in progress I started in June, and it's now totally out of season. Hurrah! I always procrastinate buttons. Yeah, my Minnesota stress is going to be completely wildly inappropriate for the time of year that it gets finished in. But never mind. Never mind. It will get done. My Make 9 will be complete. First time ever. Do you like how cocky I'm getting? It'll be complete, and I still got 2. Well, they're both cut out now. They're both cut out, so yeah, we'll see. Amy says, I make keto gravy by simmering heavy cream for 10 to 15 minutes to reduce it, then seasoning to taste, and you could add some beef drippings for beef gravy. That's a genius idea. Natalie says, I'm trying to declutter and downsize my wardrobe, but everything I take out, I think of ways to repurpose, so I put it back again. I'm not doing a good job, lol, help. Do you have room to put those somewhere like this? Because I have a bunch of stuff on here that needs fixing in some way or shape or form or another. And they're kind of like in my face here. Obviously, I'm very lucky that I have a dedicated sewing room. And if you don't have the space for that, then I appreciate that it's a bit more difficult. But rather than putting them back in the wardrobe to be forgotten until you do this again, and then you bring them out and you're like, oh, I need to do the thing with that. Can you put them somewhere where they're a little bit more in your face and you'll be like, I need to do that thing with that thing. Just if you have the space, that would be my advice. Mind you, not that I've done anything with all of these. Ooh, I think I've come up with a new idea for my red silk dress. Because you know the one that's too small for me. I think what I'm going to do is put on the Butterick, the Gertie pattern, which has got like the sweetheart neckline, because that's cut. The only bit that's cut on the fold is the front band. And I have enough fabric to do that because I haven't got a big enough fabric to recut the Anna bodice on the band. The only thing I'm not sure about is that I want some kind of a sleeve, but I'm thinking of doing like a little cap sleeve as well with that red silk, and that way I can repurpose it and it will be gorgeous. Because I really love that Gertie bodice. Oh, I've caught up with the chat. I'm up to date. That never happens. I'm on my 4th line of sewing as well. Actual sewing getting done during a hangout. I think it's because I haven't sewn for a long time. I've done a lot of cutting out and procrastinating and waffling about it. Really need to not let other people's opinions of not me specifically, but the thing that I do and the thing that I love doing get to me. And that's easier said than done. I know logically none of it was about me, but I've just, yeah, mental health wise this month has not been great. Yeah, so Felicia says you do you. Exactly. And I need to get better about that. I mean, I YouTube served me that video and I needed to not serve me things like that. And then I went off on a spiral of angst about it anyway. But it's just one of those things where it's like, you can be the most confident person in the world and then you can just have a bad week and then everything is just wrong and you start second guessing yourself. And I really shouldn't, because I mean, I'm sitting here with 10 projects cut out around me to sew. Do I need those things? No, I don't. But do I want to make them? Yes, of course I do. And, you know, like behind me are hundreds of potential garments. And what am I going to do? Sit on this stuff until like all of my clothes are threadbare? They'd never get made. I need to do what's right for me in the best manner possible for like my audience and my environment as well. So, yeah. I think the whole kind of like pain clinic thing as well, like my appointment's on the 31st and I've not taken any of the drugs that they wanted me to. what I want from the pain clinic at the moment is my acupuncture appointments, to try that. And I don't, you know, I said to them, do I need to do anything? And they said, no, we'll do all the stuff. So I'm just waiting for my acupuncture appointments. And Mum's actually going to come with me to my pain clinic appointment, because I am a little bit worried that they're just going to be like, oh, well, you didn't take the drugs. You clearly are not interested in working with us. We're going to get rid of you as a patient. And I just, given how I reacted to the drugs last time, I'm just terrified of taking them again. I really am. And it's probably going to be fine. But what if it's not? And it was such a severe reaction last time. It's just, you know, like the side effects, the side effect of the reaction I had last time is permanent. And if that happens this time round, there's no coming back from it, because there's literally no coming back from it. It was the severest reaction possible. So yeah, I'm so terrified of taking these drugs that they want me to take. Sorry, this all got very serious suddenly, didn't it? But yeah, that's another thing that's been going on mental health wise. And I think just being a bit vulnerable and seeing things that I know weren't actually directed at me, but could be interpreted as being completely about me, was just one of those things where it's like, it shows my perception of the world and my mental state as well. Like, I know intellectually it wasn't about me, but yeah. But everybody has been so lovely. Like that 3 rules video, I was really nervous about putting it up, because I was really worried that people were going to see it, take it negatively as like me turning around and preaching to you like you must do this thing. So that's why I was really trying to hammer home the whole kind of like, you do you. Like, the rules are there and you really ought to follow them. But if you want to break them, it's totally fine. Like, you know, this is your hobby. This is your thing that you do for enjoyment. And however you get to your end result, if you enjoy the process, then that's the correct way of doing it. But I was worried that that video might get a little bit of negative backlash. And like the bit where I put like the helium effect on my voice for reading out the comments, it wasn't meant to be degrading the people, you know, like, or being mean to the people that were making those comments, because they're totally valid. But it was just a way of like, I was trying to make, because it's a lot of just talking to camera, so I was trying to make it interesting. That's why there's all the zooms in and outs and things like this. So yeah, I think I was worried about that one, but it seems to have gone down well. So yeah. Let's see. Jacqueline says, hey all, I've just joined the stream. What's being sewn at the moment? It is the skirt version of the Vogue 9345, the I'm doing 5 pieces from one pattern collection. So it's basically the denim version of the skirt that's hanging up behind you, because that's going to be the pinafore. But I need to cut out interfacing to work on that. And I didn't want to do any cutting out, so we've moved on. I did ask you guys what I should do, and you were very kind and said, yeah, let's work on the skirt. So we're working on the skirt. So this is a denim fabric that the very lovely Claire gave me, and I've got a waistcoat, a skirt, and a denim jacket out of it, and it's thick enough that I'm not going to French seam it. So I'm bias binding all of the edges that are going to be visible on the inside of the skirt, even though this is going to be fully lined. I am bias binding all of my edges. Obviously you could overlock if you wanted to, and if that is your jam, then rainbow coloured overlocking on this would look awesome, but I just don't like overlocking the inside of woven garments because that is me. So I am bias binding. And then we'll get it sewn together, and then we'll need to move on to something else, because again, I need to cut some interfacing out for the facing and the waistband of this. So I will do it, but it might take me a little time. Okay, that's that one. We need one more line of bias binding. Like, I probably could French seam this, but I don't want to. And if I did French seam it, I would probably then do a faux flat felled seam with it. But I don't want visible top stitching on this one. I was thinking about doing like the gold colored denim style, jean style top stitching on it, but I decided against it just because I think I'm going to prefer it without. I can always go back and retrofit it later, I think. Not easily, it would be a bit of a faff, but I could do it. But I think whatever top stitching I do is going to be in the dark navy thread rather than a gold contrast thread, just because I think I'm going to prefer it. I'm going to do the same for my denim jacket as well. I'm going to do all of the top stitching in dark navy. And I'm doing that because of all of the patches that I'm going to sew onto that jacket. I want those to be the standout piece rather than the top stitching. Let's see. Where did I get to with the chat? Eliza says, good morning, late to the party again. Lovely autumnal jumper. Also, Sian, also, what are you making today? The Vogue 9345 skirt. Karen says to Natalie, I've just gone through this myself. My questions were, have I worn this since before COVID? Is it in condition where I would loan it to a friend? If it needs fixing, how long will it take to repair and would it be worth my time? Am I likely to repair it before Christmas? The no answers went in either the bin or bags to be donated. Natalie says her video basically said that other people's videos made her feel bad, but didn't she consider that the video might make other people feel bad? Yeah, there was one comment in there that was just like, well, thank you for basically saying that. And she replied to it going, oh, but isn't it funny that my video about negative feelings has made you comment about your negative feelings about my video? And the reply to that was quite snarky, so I won't go into that one, but it was just like, yeah. And I think that's what I'm struggling to get my head around, was the fact that you would actively consume content that made you unhappy. But I watched that video and it made me unhappy, so I get it. But I won't go back again because it's like, well, no, like, this is not doing my mental health any good, so no. Yeah. Vox 3D says, Peeps, do you iron your double gauze fabric before cutting? I know Lauren from Guthrie and Ghani has a whole video about working with double gauze, and I know she says to not iron it really, really flat because that gets rid of like the nature of the double gauze. But yeah, Lauren has a whole video about it, which I would highly recommend watching, and I will watch before I cut into any of my 3 lengths of double gauze I've got back there. But I've never worked with it, so I don't know for definite. Silver Fox says, I always pass that info on with the caveat that I know the rules so that you know where you can break them and not screw up the project. Yeah. I think it's important to understand why the rules are there for 100%. Like, that's what I was hoping to try and get across, is like the rules are there for a reason. But once you know what that reason is, then you can choose to follow them or not. So Felicia says, I went to Wellness Expo today looking for a pain clinic, but no luck. I've been struggling with some of my pains. Oh, you poor thing. Many hugs. Christine says, I loved that video. The 3 rules one. Jacqueline says, oh, yes, I remember this project last stream, I think. Aha, yes. Silver Fox says to Natalie, her follow-up video was essentially telling other creators how they should be doing videos as well. I did not subscribe because none of her video titles suited me. Yeah, I've not gone back. I haven't gone back because just no. It made me unhappy. So what's the point in watching something that makes me unhappy? I've learned that. I have got that in my head. Sarah says, I saw the video, but found the presenting style and subject weren't my jam. Loved the 3 rules video. Awesome. Lady Vegas says, good morning from Ohio. Peeps, good morning. Debbie says, a Hong Kong finish is lovely for thicker fabrics. Yes, Debbie, apparently a bias band seam and a Hong Kong finish are different things. I didn't know that because my video about bias binding a seam is called How to Do a Hong Kong Finish, and apparently I'm incorrect. Yeah. Apparently a Hong Kong finish, there's one less fold in the tape So the bit that gets pressed back, the underneath side, there's a raw edge under there, apparently. But again, there's lots of different definitions for the same terminology in sewing, as we all know. Jacqueline says, I usually finish my seams with either French hand sewing, pinked, or bias. Yeah, same. I remember at the Festival of Quilts, I had my Kiwi Cobra Corsage 8577 on the mannequin, and people started lifting up the hem to look at the finish on the inside, and they were like, oh, they're pinked. And I was like, yeah, if it's good enough for Dior, it's good enough for me. And the only reason the seams are pinked on that one is because I sew most of it with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, because if I sew it with the 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, it's too tight for me. And I was being too tight with pattern paper to retrace in the larger size up that would have worked better for me. So I just sew with a bigger seam allowance. And because it's only 3/8 of an inch, there's not enough room for a French seam. So I pink it. But if it's good enough for the inside of a Dior gown, it's good enough for me. Natalie says, Karen, thanks, hun. My problem is that I think this blouse would make a nice pocket lining, or I could turn this skirt into a top. It's like I can't let go of possible fabric, lol. Well, in that case, I would say be brutal with yourself and donate it, pass it on to somebody that will wear it as is, because you've spent time making it, or you've bought something and it's a garment, and it can, if it's got a giant hole somewhere, then yes, cut it up for fabric. But if it is something that you're just like, oh, I could do this with it, or this with it, or this with it, I was keeping scraps for exactly that reason. And actually my Savannah long pieces that I had scraps of came in really handy when I was cutting out my shirt yesterday. So I had like 5 or 6 pieces like this, and I cut on the cross grain, but I got my cuffs, my collar stand, my collar, all of those pieces out of all of those pattern pieces out of those types of those sizes of scraps. Sorry, the door, just noticed the door slightly open. Let's shut that, it's better. But I as you guys know, I put together bundles of scraps, and you guys took them off my hands, which was incredible of you. And it was stuff that I thought there was still potential for, like those kinds, like this sort of thing out of the knit ones and things like that. But it just got to a point where it's like, I'm never going to do this. I'm never going to go through all of these things and use it for like the pocket linings and things like that, because I've got so much stuff. So I was really brutal with myself. And you know what? I don't miss any of it. I really don't miss any of it. And I'm really glad that I did it. So I would say be brutal with yourself, Natalie, although I know that's easier said than done. Miekie's here, overlocking my pinafore as we speak. I love my overlocker. I love my overlocker too. I do. I was just scared of it for so long, which is why I learned all these other finishing techniques from the insides of my garments. Nikki says, I've nearly finished my first ever dressmaking course, inspired to do it thanks to you and the lovely Peeps. And the 3 rules video is really useful. How else do people learn these invaluable tips? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think, as I've said a lot of times, I think there's a bunch of assumed knowledge in sewing patterns. And I think that if you don't have that assumed knowledge, then a lot of the things that they ask you to do make no sense. But once you realize why they're asking you to do the thing, it's either like, I get it. Like for me, stay stitching for a long time, I was just like, why am I sewing this twice? I don't wanna, don't make me. And understitching as well. For the longest time, I was like, nope, don't want to do that. So I didn't. But as soon as I worked out, oh, if I do this, then this happens, I was like, right, I get it. And then, then could choose to apply or not apply those things as I wanted. So yeah. Karen says to Nikki, would you do it before Christmas though? Good point. Joe's here. Right, hubby's haircut, laundry done. Now I can sit down to sew. Happy Peep. Hey Peeps. Awesome, Joe. Nice to see you. Eliza says, which negative video are you speaking of? Must have missed something. Was it the sewing things I don't like one? Yes, it was. Christine says, yes, 3 rules. Yes, I'm glad you enjoyed that one. I'm glad I one of the nicest, all the comments were lovely. But one of the nicest comments I got was from somebody just saying it was really, really nice of you to, it didn't come across as condescending. It came across as like, like, these are the rules, this is why you should follow them, but it's completely up to you if you want to or not, but this is the results that you'll get. So that was one of the nicest comments on there, was just like, yeah, you didn't come across as preachy or like you must do the thing, which is awesome. Natalie says to Karen, I'll combine your advice and Sean's. I'll put everything in a bag and put it in my sewing space. If I don't touch it by Christmas, it will go. Thank you for lending me some sense. That's okay. We're here for you. We are here for you, Natalie. Debbie says, yes, the version of Hong Kong finish I was taught is what you described, with the raw edge tucked down under to keep the bulk down. Yes, yes. I thought that was a really interesting finish as well. I've also seen a Hong Kong finish where, I think it was in Threads magazine, where it was going to be a fully lined pencil skirt, and they'd cut the lining, but they cut the edges of the lining long enough that you could sew it to the piece of fabric first, turn it through somehow, and it finished the seam as it was. So it was genius, but it was one of those ones where it was like, wow, that's a lot of effort trying to work out how to cut it out correctly at the beginning, and if you get it even slightly wrong, it's going to pucker everything horribly. Yeah, I was quite surprised when I learned that a Hong Kong finish is not this. Karen says, Natalie, you're welcome. I know exactly what you're going through. Nimue says, I'll leave you for a spot of lunch. Hopefully you'll still be here later for baking. Hopefully, yes. Conchetta says, 3 rules was so helpful. I don't think you could ever come across as condescending. It just isn't in your spirit. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I was really worried that I was going to be like, it was going to be one of those ones where it's just like, because again, I'm no expert. Like, this is all stuff I've learned from trial and error and teaching myself online as well. Silver Fox says, Shannon did this in her most recent video. It looked awesome. Cool. We are an hour and a half in, and I'm sewing my 6th line of stitching. I did think about using my rainbow bias binding that Karen sent me, because I still have like a giant spool of that, and it would have looked really cool for this one, but because it's going to be paired with this, I thought I liked the idea of it all kind of matching. I would have used the old gold bias binding for the inside of this if I'd had enough, but I didn't, so it's going to be navy I've got 3 lines of old gold in there. But if you thought I was going to unpick that, then to put all navy in, then nope. Okay, the last little bit of bias binding on the seams. I will need some more for the hem, but this needs to be sewn together and pressed first before I can do the hem. So put that over there, change our foot over. Silver Fox says 6 lines more than you had at the start of the day. This is very true. This is very true. But yes, people are taking the Miekkie out of me, because we do like a whole kind of like, I'm going to sew the thing and then do 4 darts in like 2 hours. You guys distract me in the best possible way. So Felicia says, need to get some sleep now. Peeps, night all. Good night, so Felicia. Thank you for joining us. George says, I just joined, but I was wondering if there was an update on the super secret squirrel dress. Hope you're doing well. It's still not been released. I can't wait to show you. I honestly can't wait to show you. It's a very different style for me. I've not actually kept it. I've given it to them for the display purposes, because I just know I probably would wear it, but maybe like once a year. So I might get it back eventually, but I've given it to them to put onto their mannequins because I made it up. Funnily enough, I'm the same size as their mannequins. Yeah, I've given it to them to display when they release the pattern, because they obviously go to all the shows, and that's a much better use of it than it's staying in my wardrobe and maybe coming out once or twice a year. I do really like it. I have the fabric in the green colorway, and I'm going to do something very similar with that colorway of fabric. But I can't tell you, I can't show you yet. That little sneaky peek, that blurred twirl that you got in last lookbook is as much as I can show you as yet. I probably shouldn't have shown you that, to be honest. I did sign a non-disclosure agreement to say that I wouldn't talk about it, and all I've been doing is talking about it. Ah, dear, never mind. Conchetta says, life experience counts. You sharing what you learned over the years has helped so many. I mentioned this last week. My 80-year-old mama learned something from you, and she's been sewing for a bit. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've been looking into getting multiple camera angles for the live streams next year, and the hardware for it's quite expensive, and I also want to invest in an iPad and get Procreate, because I think that's going to enhance especially these kinds of videos, because I mean, there is a way for me to animate, taking the line drawing, changing it, and putting those things in, but it's really difficult on the softwares. It's a learning curve, but Procreate looks a lot easier. So I think the thing that I'm investing in next is an iPad and Apple Pencil for kind of adding in, hopefully, sort of like helpful kind of animations or like line drawings of what I'm planning and doing with my fabrics and pattern plans, because I think it would be especially helpful for this video, because the line drawings are obviously of 6 dresses, and I'm making 2 shirts, 2 dresses and a skirt, so it would be really helpful for me to be able to kind of like animate how I'm changing the patterns to show you, rather than and to actually physically show you rather than just verbally tell you. So yeah, that's the next piece of equipment I am investing in, is an iPad, rather than the bits and pieces that are needed for multiple camera angles for streaming. I have a plan for next year. I have a plan for getting a bunch of credit cards and stuff paid off, because my income got massively cut in half over the last couple of years for, you know, plague reasons. And so, you know, credit cards did come into play, especially with the trips to London and stuff like that. So need to get those sorted and paid and under control, but I've got a plan, as I say, and they will be. And I've got a date in mind, which means that as soon as that's done, I will be able to start investing in, like I say, a stream deck, so that I can do multiple camera angles for the streams. Because I would like to do some crafting streams with you guys, like my paper crafting streams that I want to do, because I really want to do Project Life next year. I think that would be a lot of fun, because I have all the stuff and I want to use it. And I think sitting down with you guys on a Sunday and working on my Project Life for the week would be a really fun thing to do. Like I say, I have all the stuff, but I'm a bit worried that with the one camera angle, it wouldn't be quite so much fun, because you couldn't really see what I was doing. But with like a overhead camera angle and then the chatty to you camera angle. But the very basic software that I'm using at the moment is just the YouTube's very, very basic software. There is something called OBS, but that is software reliant, and from what I've heard, quite glitchy. So yeah, the Stream Deck, like the hardware for me being in control of the cameras this side rather than on a computer, and dependent on the internet, it's not like super pricey, but it's expensive enough that it's going to be like an investment piece. But I think it's more sensible for the type of stuff that I want to do to get the iPad first. That's only gonna I'm only gonna need to save up for 2 months for that. So yeah, iPad first, then Stream Deck. So we might start the year off with the paper crafting Project Life videos, but it might be a case of like sitting here sort of at this angle chatting to you, trying to so you can sort of see what's going on, and then showing you the card as I go. But I would really like to have like a whole year of Project Life. And given how frequently we do these live streams, I thought that would be a good thing. And you guys seem interested in that as well. So yeah. Where did I get to with the chat? Conchetta says, life experience. Oh, I've read that one, haven't I? Chris says, Sian, have you missed my comment above? I probably have. Where was it, Chris? Where was it? Let's see. Chris. Can you comment again, Chris? Because I apparently have missed it. Sorry. I'm usually a bit better at keeping up with it, but I cannot see it. Could you put it up again, Chris? Because I have missed it. I'm sorry. Elena says, am I paranoid by adding some sort of reflector on all my outerwear? No, not if you, especially if you go out for walks in the evenings and things like that, or you're on a bike. Not at all. Not at all. Natalie says, just wanted to confirm you're actually a sewist and there isn't a pack of elves doing all your sewing like the watchmaker in Supernatural. Yeah, no, I am. This is me. Do you know what? I've been thinking, because I buy the lottery tickets like nearly every week, and I daydream about winning it, like winning a giant jackpot and like what I would do. And I already have my house picked out on the Isle of Wight, and it's got a turret and a tower. And like, yeah, like I have my very active fantasy world. And one of the things that I was thinking about is, would I still sew? And would I still make YouTube videos? And the answer is yes and yes. But I would hire an editor and probably hire somebody to come and set up a much more professional camera rig for me and have multiple cameras and things like that. And I probably wouldn't put out quite as many videos, but there would be at least 2 a week, I think. But I would still 100% sew. I would buy clothes, like I say, like I'd probably end up with a lot more stuff from Lily Silk. I'd have every single color of the cashmere sweater and the silk t-shirt that I've got from them, because I've got 2 of the cashmere sweaters and 1 of the silk t-shirts. But yeah, even if I was a multi-millionaire, I would still sew and I'd still waffle at you lot, because I love it. I absolutely love it. I would go on a lot more holidays, but I would take you guys along with me, because there would be fabric shopping happening on those holidays. So yeah, I love this. I wouldn't stop this even if I was a multi-millionaire. And you never know, like somebody's got to win the lottery. It'd be nice if it was me. But yeah, we do a fabric shopping tour of the world and meetups everywhere I went, and it would be awesome. And I get to meet you all in person. But yeah, I can't imagine not doing this. I really can't imagine not doing this. Natalie says to Chris, I can't see your comment either. Are you sure you posted one? I know I've seen something from Chris before, but I haven't seen that one. So she's written again. Thank you. Jane says, hi Peeps, first time watching you live. Sat sewing my hem on a circular skirt. Good luck with that. Good luck with that, and welcome. Chris says, I'm making the Vogue 1520 for my daughter. Very fiddly in stretch velvet and tricot. Have cut the front 10 centimeters too short. She wants T length. Any ideas on a fix? Let's have a look at the pattern for a start. So Boog 1520. Ooh, pretty. Is it the badge? Have I got the right number? 1520. Is it the Badgko Mishli? Badgley Mishka. Is it that one? Is it that one? Elena says, and you will have a fabric warehouse as a stash. Yes, I would. Well, this giant house with the turret that I want to buy, half of it's been renovated and half of it hasn't been, and there's extensive basements. So I've already decided that one of the basement rooms is going to get turned into a cinema with like a 1920s Art Deco style cinema, and then another room's going to get turned into a games room. So it's going to have like a TARDIS door on it, so that you come in and it's bigger on the inside. And you know, like my inner geek freak flag will fly 100%, but there is this giant room that's supposed to be a dining room, and I'm going to turn that into the sewing room. But there will also be there's other rooms in the house, so there is also going to be an entire fabric storage one, which won't have any windows or light in it, and it'll be moth proof. And yeah, like I spend far too much time daydreaming about these things. Yeah, there wouldn't necessarily need to be a warehouse, because the house I want to buy is giant. Do I have a picture of it? Do I have a picture of it? I used to keep a picture of it on my... No, let's see if I can find it. Woodvale. Can I find it now? No, I cannot. Fantasy house shopping is one of my favorite things. No, I can't find it now, but I know where it is. But yeah, there's enough room in this house that an entire room can be dedicated to fabric storage, and it would be a large room. I also want a room dedicated to different seasonal decorations. I would be one of those people that's like, I'm going to totally decorate everything for Halloween, and then I'm going to totally decorate everything for Easter. So yeah, my inner rich person is is extravagant. Chris says yes, that is the dress. 10 centimeters too short. And it's velvet. My only advice would be that you either really need to recut the entire front panel, or cut all of them 10 centimeters too short and then add on a band around the bottom with trim to cover the stitching. Christine says, bonjour, Shan and the peeps from Montreal. Late to the party, looking sharp with this sweater. Thank you. Karen says to Chris, could you add a tear to it? Would change the look a little, though. And Chris says, I'm thinking of a bit cut a frill on the bottom like a peplum. Yeah. Like I say, my advice would be either recut the entire front if that's an option, but if you've already started sewing, it probably isn't. So what I would do is cut all of the panels to the same length, and then cut yourself. I wouldn't even add it as a frill. I would add it as the same, like a continuation of the panel, so no excess fabric in it, and then add some trim around it to kind of make the seam look intentional, and then put the trim somewhere at the top as well. Eliza says, could you add a band at the waist level of the front panel? Ooh, that's a good idea as well. Like cut it here and add the 10 centimeters in there. and maybe kind of like add some detail in that. That could work. You'll have to let us know how you get on, Chris. And then says, that's awesome daydream. My daydream house has giant craft room, 2 stores, high library, and lots of hidden doors. Yeah, if you're a multi-millionaire and you don't have a hidden door in somewhere in your house, especially in a library, you're not doing it right. And you ought to give me your money so I can do it right for you. Totally. We had in the shoe room in Mum and Dad's bedroom, in their last house. It was in like one of the little attic spaces, and the floor was actually huge, but the room itself, because it was all in the eaves, sloped up massively. So I bought it in quite a lot to get the most amount of height, and put in shelves all the way around that Mum could put her shoes on, and Mum and Dad put their shoes on. But there was also one of the bookcases had handles, and it was actually on wheels, and you could pull it out, and that's where all the suitcases went behind it. The suitcases got stored behind the bookcase because there was so much room. Like I said, the floor space was huge. So yeah, if you don't have a pull out or hidden door behind a bookcase in your house and you're a multimillionaire, you're doing it wrong. But yeah, my daydreams are quite grand. The Art Deco style cinema room that I'm talking about, I think I've told you guys about this person quite a few times. Miekkie, who got the name wrong. Becca, who designs. I wonder, like, all of the seats in my cinema are going to be covered in her velvets. And then the walls are going to be dark green, and then hot pink, dark green, hot pink, and then, yeah, gold palm leaf lights. That actually might just be my sitting room if I ever. The idea is to buy a house eventually. Well, it's going to be a flat, but to eventually have my own space. And yes, my bedroom's going to be navy blue again, or maybe dark bottle green. And then my front room is going to be dark bottle green as well. And I actually want a black kitchen with copper everywhere. Yeah. I'd make such a good rich person. I haven't checked my lottery ticket. I might actually be a multimillionaire. That would be nice. Gosh, can you imagine the different types of videos that I'd get to bring you guys, like the decorating ones and the refurbishing and the yeah. It would be so much fun. It'd be so much fun. Chris says all finished except for the hem. Yeah, add a 10 centimeter band the whole way around. That would be my advice. And then if it's velvet, what you could do is do the band on the opposite nap. So rather than it looks intentional, you could have an experiment with it. But that could look quite effective, because that way you wouldn't even need to add trim. It would just be like a different, because obviously the different way you put velvet up affects how the light comes onto it. So you could do that, perhaps put the velvet the opposite way to the rest of the dress, so it looks like an intentional band around the bottom. Elena says that's awesome daydream. Oh yeah, read that one, haven't I? Sorry. Karen says, well, I had better get to bed. Have a lovely day. See you next week. Yes, thank you for joining us, Karen. Nimue says, I'm back and you're still sewing. I am. How was lunch? was your lunch? What is the time? 1 o'clock. Huh. We've been going for 2 hours. Elena says, we even drew floor plans and how it will look from the outside one day a couple of years ago. Oh, nice. If I won really big time on the Euro Millions, for example, I would totally, there's a company called Golden Eagle in the US, and I would totally end up buying somewhere, I think in New England, like Massachusetts or Connecticut or somewhere up there, and having a log cabin type house built by them because they look amazing. I have serious delusions of grandeur. I mean, I know I'm never going to be that rich unless I win the lottery, but it's fun to daydream. Carol says, just dropping in to say hi. Very welcome, Carol. Thank you for joining us. Nimue says, lunch was very nice. Just Dad and me. Mum is trying to fall asleep, but she's not a daytime sleeper. Oh, I hope she feels better for her birthday. I hope she feels better for her birthday. I have started watching, I finished Smallville. I really enjoyed it. Totally in love with Tom Welling. Now fangirling over him. On Instagram, watching the Talkville podcast, very much enjoying that. So thank you to Sal for recommending that one for me. But I started watching Chuck again. I think I've watched it twice all the way through. But I'm going to do it again because I absolutely adore Zachary Levi. I think he is gorgeous. And another one that I totally fangirl over. I have a fangirling page on my Pinterest. And yeah, it's got a lot of Henry Cavill, Tom Hiddleston, now Tom Welling. Hasn't got much Chris Evans on it, actually, and I have very much gotten on board with the Chris Evans bandwagon. 2 of my best friends are huge Chris Evans fans. I think I've told you this before, both of them are married, and both of them would throw their own husbands into a pit to fight for the death of who of them got to have Chris Evans. I'm the single one, and so's he, you know, like. But yeah, need to add some Chris Evans to my fangirling page. We've also got Christina Hendricks, Billie Piper, David Tennant. Who else is on there? Oh, Armie Hammer, and we need to work out how to get rid of that because he's become incredibly problematic. And yeah, no, he shouldn't be on there anymore because he now just gives me the creeps. Which is sad. But yeah, he's strange. He's very strange. Fangirling, yeah. Oh, David Boreanaz. But yeah, at the moment it's like lots of Tom Welling. Lots of Tom Welling. Yeah, Zachary Levi, Henry Cavill, Philip DeFranco. Huge crush on Philip DeFranco as well. Although his wife would kill me, so no. Lee Pace, Daniel Jackson, Rose McGowan, Spike, Sean Bean, oh yes, Marilyn Monroe, Christina Hendricks, Nathan Fillion. I've also got Leonard Nimoy, Jean-Luc Picard, and Sir Ian McKellen, Patrick Stewart, obviously. Yeah. You can see like the Jensen Ackles as well. Yes. Yeah. What's the meme? Disney's not responsible for my unrealistic expectations of men. Marvel is. Yeah. Joanna says, hello, greetings from sunny Cork Island. Hello. Conchetta says, you should win big. Rhode Island is lovely. Yes. Joanna says, a bit late to the chat. What are you making? I am working on the skirt of my 9345. See, this is the other thing. If I had a stream deck, I think I would be able to put the picture up of the pattern that I'm working on as well. I think. Silver Fox says Chuck is such a fun series. Yeah. It's also got Jane in it from Firefly. He will always forever be Jane. Ooh, Ian Somerhalder needs to be on my fangirling page as well, although he is very dinky, bless him. Yeah, most of the ones on my fangirling page are over 6 foot. Yeah, and I wonder why I'm not having any luck on the dating websites on the internet for the Isle of Wight. The ones that I have liked have ended up being catfish. One of them was a model from Germany, poor guy, having his images used. He was very pretty though. But yeah, he lives in Germany, which is a little far away. And then the other guy that I found really attractive that I matched with lives in Finland. And he was on holiday in Portsmouth. And that's why he came up. I was like, why? Conchetta says, currently watching The West Wing. Never watched it originally, and now I can't stop watching it. Natasha keeps telling me I should watch that as well, but I'm not sure that I would enjoy that. Rob Lowe's in that, isn't he? I think he's pretty. Not that I just watch TV programs for pretty. Honest Gav. Elena says, the biggest misunderstanding with the lottery is that you don't get the whole amount because of taxes, and it's more cost effective to get X amount per month than it is at the same time. It's different in the UK. We get the lump sum. There's no taxes in the UK. What you win the jackpot that is described. It's not. Yeah, I know American ones, like the jackpot's huge, and then no, in the UK it's different. We get the lump sum. At least I think we do. If somebody tells me differently now, like they're like, actually, I've won the lottery, and no, in the UK it is different. It is different. Diana says, are you going to watch the new episode of Doctor Who tonight? No, because I am one whole Doctor behind. I still have a season of Peter Capaldi to get through. But that's another one that I have to pay attention to. So, yeah. Nimue says, Billie Piper is a gorgeous woman. I should rewatch The Secret Diary. Some of her outfits in that, I know. Yeah, I love Billie Piper. I love her. I love her and David Tennant together, especially. But yes, no, Billie Piper. Christina Hendricks as well, like I say. I need to finish off Mad Men, although I kind of got really annoyed with it. Like, the fashion in that is gorgeous, but I think I just got really annoyed with it. It just seems like nothing happens in the episodes, and yet you watch it all. So I never finished Mad Men. Let's see. Elena says you can visit Finland on some holidays. Yeah, he lived in Helsinki. He was very cute. Very, very cute. And he came back to the UK fairly frequently because his ex-wife and 2 kids live here, but that was another issue, ex-wife and 2 kids. I don't want to date someone who's got kids, which I know narrows the pool massively. I mean, I don't want to date someone just for sake of dating someone. I don't want a relationship just to have a relationship. I would like someone to travel with, but I can do that by myself. I can. It's not a problem. But yeah. My last relationship was long distance to London, and I just thought, you know what, Helsinki is a lot further away than London, and the last long distance relationship did not end well. So let's not make things more difficult than the last one. Although I want to visit Finland anyway. Debbie says, my lottery dream is to buy an abandoned mansion and restore it to its former glory, and I can run live role-playing events and sewing retreats there. Yeah, totally. That's the other thing. Do you guys follow Christine McConnell? She doesn't put out many videos on YouTube. It's more, she has more stuff on Patreon, and I am a patron of hers, £3.70 a month. And the upper, I think it's in Upper New York state, she bought a Queen Anne mansion, sight unseen. Like, she's seen pictures of it, but she never saw it in person before she bought it. And yeah, I would love a house like that. And yeah, we'd probably end up doing the same sort of thing, because I'd really want to share it with people. So it'd just be like, yeah, let's do all the stuff. Conchetta says to Debbie, that sounds amazing. It does. Joe says, have you seen Catherine Called Birdie on Amazon? Bill or Piper is great in that, as are most of the actors. I haven't. I'm definitely on a kind of like light-hearted sci-fi fantasy kick at the moment. I did really want to watch The Adventures of Lois and Clark with Terry Hatcher and Dean Cain, but it was £15 per series, and there's 4 series, so it's 60 quid. And it was like, do I watch this or do I buy the burgundy boots that I want? And I went for the burgundy boots. So my spending money for this month has gone on new boots, which arrived yesterday, and I love, and I'm so pleased. At some point I will watch The Adventures of Lois and Clark again, because I remember sitting with mum and dad on a Saturday night and watching, because it was 1994. So I remember coming down and sitting in the front room in our house in Ipswich and watching that on the TV with mum and dad. Let's see. Nimoy says, haha, we're on the same amount behind on Doctor Who. I started rewatching the show to then catch up. Yeah. I will go through and watch them all. I do enjoy Doctor Who, and I'm really looking forward to Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who as well. I think David Tennant and Matt Smith were just my favourites. I liked Peter Capaldi, I did. But yeah, I think David Tennant and then Matt Smith were definitely my favourite incarnations. I think I've told you guys this story quite a few times before, but my friend used to live next door to David Tennant. So we used to see him quite frequently. And just be like, try not to freak the poor guy out. Elena says, but if you will visit by yourself, we can go fabric shopping together. Elena, I'm holding you to that. Totally. That's, if you know what I would do if I won the lottery. I would literally travel the world. I would need to work out what I could do with Shiana if she could come with me. And like, if she couldn't, then I'd need to work out cat sitters for her, and then not do loads of like come back in between trips. But that would be something that I would love to do, is fabric, and it would be a series. I'd make it a series on here. It'd be fabric shopping around the world, like going to different cities around the world and just being like, and what fabric can we find here? So yeah, I would travel a lot more. I had an invitation to go to Cyprus last month and this month. With all I had to do was pay to get there, but it was going to be around about 500 quid for the flights, and then getting off the island to the airport and back again, and then like obviously food and stuff. But whilst I was out there, But my friend has a house out in Cyprus, and he was like, "Yeah, come visit." And it's like, I really want to, but I can't. I've got to try and be a bit more sensible with money, because these last 2 years I have literally kicked my ass. But he also has a place in London, so I'm hoping I'm going to get up to see him in February when I do the Goldhawk Road meetup, and then go and see him at some point next year in Cyprus, because some sun. We're definitely going to Croatia next year as well, which is going to be exciting. And I am very much looking forward to it. And we found the fabric shop, so we shall go back there. I'll have to make up my top out of the fabric that I bought from them. Right, all of the bias binding is sewn down, so now I can start sewing the actual skirt together. So, got my orange pins in to indicate which is the centre back seam. So let's sew those together first. Bree says, "Hello everyone, love that jumper, Sean, super cute. Buy a castle in Scotland, Sean." Possibly. There is a really nice castle on the Isle of Wight that I want. Yeah, there is a really nice castle down here that I want. Nimue says to Joe, "I'll have to check if I can get that here. It sounds worth a look." Silver Fox says, "Well, it's bedtime for me. Thanks for company tonight and the wonderful chat. Thank you for joining us." Bree says, "Fabric shopping around the world sounds like a brilliant series. Making garments by each local pattern maker too." Ooh, yeah, that's a good twist. I like it. See, I'd be a great rich person. Definitely ought to win the lottery. Can't believe I haven't done it so far. I mean, like, you know, I've been trying. Natalie says she could have a private plane and hire a cat nanny to travel with you. Yeah, the trouble is Chiana hates everyone else. I know Dieter Von Teese travelled with Alastair Von Teese a lot. So I know it's sort of possible. I'd have to look into it more. And obviously start with a short flight and see how she did with it. Because if she doesn't enjoy it, then it's not fair on her. She's 9 years old. So she might just be like, "No, I'm far too old to travel. I want to stay here, mother." So it would just be sort of like 4 or 5 days away. And then for the longer ones, I'd have to get a cat sitter in, which would be fine. Mum and I have worked out that if when Mum comes to visit the room, Chiana always gets a treat. And now whenever Mum knocks on the door, Chiana's always, the ears perk up and she starts chirruping at her and headbutting her in the nice way. Like she's like, "Hello, you are my friend. Give me the food." Because she's fully aware that Mum is going to give her treats. And Mum was a little bit worried to start with because, I mean, she has put me in hospital once and it wasn't her fault. It was referred aggression. I put my hand in the way. It's my fault. But she's attacked me twice because of referred aggression. So Mum is a little bit wary of her, which is understandable. But she is very delicate. Like Mum and Dad's cats that James and Nia have adopted and now look after, because Mum and Dad went to Saudi Arabia and they couldn't take them with them because there's just no way of cat proofing anywhere out there, and it would have been a nightmare. But Harry, bless him, he's like a little saber-toothed tiger. If you've got a treat in your fingers, he will bite through your finger to get the treat. But Chiana, if her teeth come into contact with your flesh, she stops putting pressure on it, even if the treat's right there and she can't get it quite. She will not bite your fingers. And I keep saying this to Mum, and Mum's like, oh, I'm scared. But she now hand feeds her, and she is very, very ladylike and doesn't bite Mum. So yeah, yeah, they're getting better friends, which is nice. Great. Actual sewing and construction theme. Who knew? Who knew? Elena says, summer here is the best time because you will completely freeze in winter. I'm sure I will, yeah. I shall add it to my summer list. Alison says, happy Sunday, Shan and Peeps. Greetings from what will be another wet Bendigo. Shan is, how is Chiana today? She's very well, thank you. How is Binks? Right. Oh no, I don't need to backstitch. I've done that already. Lost where I am in the seam and just backstitch randomly, like half an inch in. Never mind. It'll be fine. So my bias binding desperately needs pressing, but I'm not going to go and do that because I can sew the construction seams first and then go and press everything at the same time. And this skirt and this pinafore dress, I've actually cut it 2 inches longer than the regular dress is, so that I can definitely wear this skirt over the blue viscose of the dress that I'm going to be making. And the skirt won't peek out the bottom, because that is one thing that, like, I don't want is like if I'm wearing a dress as a blouse, I don't want the skirt portion of the dress peeking out the skirt I'm wearing over the top. First construction seam sewn. Feeling very virtuous. That's the 13th line of stitching I've done so far today. MF says, I watched Lois and Clark too. It was a cute show. Nostalgia. Hello, Shine and the Peeps are sending happiness from New Orleans. I love the David Tennant table story you told. Yeah, me too. Notice how I didn't inflict it up on you again this time, though, because I know I've told you guys that one before. But yeah, it was too funny. Alison says, I've created a monster with Binks and his treats. I bought him treats that consist of dried offal, and he loves it and will meow at me to give them to him. He also expects a treat when he has been outside. Yeah, Mum, like I say, I've taught Chiana that when Mum comes to visit, treats are in part of the process. So now somebody coming into the room doesn't automatically get hissed at. When we were away, I told Dad this, and he was like, she bit me the first time, and I was like, did you try and stroke her? And he's like, yes I did. And it's like, don't do that. Like, let her smell your hand and let her rub her face on your hand, but don't try and touch the back of her head, because she won't enjoy it, because she doesn't know you well enough yet. You need to give her lots of treats before you get the kind of like actual permission to touch her. And once he started doing that, he was like, oh, okay, yeah. And she did warm up to him and became a lot more friendly. But yeah, Chiana has a very kind of quick reflex for like, you're touching me too much, stop it, and then bite. So yeah. This is a rule I break. You really should be pinning these flat. You should be pinning these on a flat surface together. But that means I'd have to get up and I can't be bothered. So I do it in my lap. And you really shouldn't. But as long as you're careful, then, you know, like you can, it's fine. Debbie says, the new Rachel Maxey video of her making Christine McConnell spider cookies was fabulous. Yes. I hadn't seen the Christine McConnell video yet, and I watched that last night. I also watched her Dressmaker's Dummy version that she did. I watched that one over again. The patience that that lady has, like, I'm not sure I could. But the dress form came out amazing. I wish she would show more clothes sewing videos, but I get why she doesn't, because she's a very specific shape, and like her whole thing is like, I want you to be able to do the project that we're doing. Nicole says, hello, Sean and the peeps. Greetings from, oh, you've told me how to say this one and I've forgotten already. It's in the Netherlands. I'm sorry, I'm seeing it and all I want to say is Reykjavik, and I know it's not that, but that's what I've got in my head. But hello, Nicole. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We have 138 peeps and 92 likes. That's awesome. So we're on to the second construction scene and the 14th line of stitching I have done today. I have cut out a lining for the skirt. I ended up having to do it out of the charcoal grey because I didn't have enough of the spectrum blue. I would have loved to have done it out of the spectrum blue. Oh, hello. Well, that was interesting. Do I have a thread nest on the back of my work? Yes, I do. Yes. Okay. Not sure what happened there. Does have little hissy fits every now and again. Rowbike. Did I get that right? Charlie says, oh yes, Debbie, those spider cookies. That was, I loved watching Rachel do that. It was so funny. It really was so funny. And like her 4th attempt at baking, I think. Just like, I knew, let's do super involved and difficult baking. Let's make some spider cookies. I'm not sure I would want to put that much work into a cookie. Like, they looked stunning, but they're to be eaten. Right. Okay, so that's one front panel sewn on. Let us do the other one. And then the base of our skirt will be done, and I won't be able to proceed because I'll need to cut out some interfacing. And I don't want to do any more cutting out. I've got so much interfacing that needs to be cut out. It'll be fine. I will do it. It will get done. But yeah, I think that's my least favorite sewing task, is cutting out interfacing. Like, I've done all the hard work. I've got my thing cut out. It's ready to go. Why can't I just sew interfacing? Grr. Lady Vega says, I love Christine McConnell's work, but I just don't have the time to attempt any of it. Oh no, me either. Me either. Like the dress form that she made out of cardboard that she carved and then covered was just, it was stunning. Like, it was amazing. But no. Just no. I don't have the levels of patience that she does. Rachel Lynn's here. Good morning, all. Good morning. Elena says, "Oh no, now you will have to face the cutting." No, I've got a waistcoat that can be sewn. Parts of it can be sewn together without the interfacing for that as well. I think the Sorrento jacket doesn't need any interfacing, but I do need the computer for the instructions for the Sorrento jacket, and you guys are there, so I'd rather have you guys at the moment, to be honest. But my tummy is starting to rumble, so I think this will be the last seam, and then I'm going to go and get myself some lunch because hungry. And then I'll come back and I'll cut out the interfacing and get the pinafore finished, because I'm really looking forward to seeing how that comes out. Bree says, good to see you have your sew mojo back. Yes. Yes. I think the mammoth cutting out session was a good thing to do. There's been a lot of procrastination, as I've said, over the last couple of weeks as well. Like, my mental health has really not been there this month. My brain has been doing me dirty. So yeah, it's been a bit of a struggle this month, but you know what? I'm back in a like a I want to be sewing frame of mind. I have all the projects ready to go. I really want to get this 5-piece collection done. I really want my Anna dress, and I really want my Sorrento jacket finished before the end of October. So that's 5, 6, 7 projects, one of which is like a half project. It should be doable. And yeah, it should be doable. It should be doable. And then November, I have a bunch of stuff for my November navy lookbook, which is going to feature the lily silk pieces. So there's a couple of things that I need to sew for that. But 2 of the pieces that need to be sewn for that are this and the waistcoat, this skirt and the waistcoat. So that should also be totally doable. And then I'm thinking I'm going to do a purple based lookbook. But that might not be till next year. nearly done with this seam. Basic skirt is complete. Just needs its waistband and facing. Putting on, but they need interfacing. So we won't be doing that today. But oh, I didn't drop my phone, you dropped my phone. Looks like a dark pit, doesn't it? But yay! Skirt. Oh, it's going to be so lovely. Now, I didn't put pockets in this one, and I am not going to put patch pockets on it. And I know that's going to annoy some people, but I am not a huge fan of pockets all the time. Like, I like them for certain things, but I don't have to have them in every single garment. It's just me. It's just me. So, yeah. Let's see. Turn that off. Where did I get to with the chat? Natalie says, used to decorate cakes and cookies for a living and have found the video very hard to watch. Lol. Is that the Rachel Maxey one or the Christine McConnell one? Nimue says, food before interfacing, definitely the correct priorities. I think so too. MF says, Brie, I agree. When Sian has her sojo, it helps mine. Thanks for that, by the way. Oh, awesome. Alison says, Sian, have you bought your advent calendar for this Christmas? I have one of mine. It's the Kylie machine one. I haven't. I am collaborating with a friend and we're making each other's advent calendars. I've got Dad's. I worked out yesterday what I'm going to do for Mum's because neither of them can have chocolate. So, yes. I have got some of the bits ready for my friend's one. Mum and I are going to go shopping down to the high street to go and get a few more bits and pieces, Isle of Wight bits. So it's going to be sewing an Isle of Wight foodie kind of themed, her advent calendar. I really like Kylie and the Machine labels, but I just don't sew labels into my clothes. I find them really annoying. The only clothing items I put labels into is my coats. And even then it's fairly infrequently. So I just don't put sewing labels in clothes. So as lovely as the Kylie Machine ones are, and they are really lovely, I just won't use them. So there's no point in me having that calendar. But I always enjoy seeing what other people get because they are very cute. They are very cute. Right, guys, yes, my tummy is rumbling. My tummy is rumbling. I've made a skirt. There was sewing. There was sewing. I did sewing. But yeah, I'm going to go and get myself some food. I'm going to eat the food. And then I'm going to cut out some interfacing and get my pinafore finished today. And possibly the skirt as well. That's the plan. Natalie says, Rachel Maxey, first she said 3 cups of flour, then she said 4, and then I'm pretty sure she added an extra 1/3 cup because she miscounted. Yeah. Alison says, Kylie and the Machine calendar this year only has 2 labels instead of the 3 like last year, and it's the same price. Ah, interesting. Rachel then says, yay to sewing, bye. Nimue says, we could always meet again after you fed yourself. This is true, but I do want to watch some Chuck. And I get more sewing done when I'm not chatting to you guys. I'm sorry. But there will be another live hangout next Sunday. There'll be 5 October hangouts. And there probably will be more sewing in that one as well. I have 3 days of waffle filmed and partly edited. So there will be a waffle on the Tuesday. And I'm aiming to have the By Hand London Anna Brains and Beauty dress refashion up on the channel for the weekend because I need it finished for Monday. and possibly the Sorrento jacket out on Friday as well. That's what I'm aiming for this week. Conchetta says, thank you for a wonderful morning. Have a great day. You too. MF says, have a great day, everyone. Thank you. Caroline says, been shortening wedding dresses, so thanks for the company. I have the Yankee Candle calendar. Ooh, I liked that one when I had that one. That was good. Elena says, when will you have your 24-hour stream? I probably will do that when I have like slightly more equipment to do it, like with multiple camera angles and things. So it's not going to be until next year. And also during like mental health awareness of some kind, month or week or day, to go with that charity. Carolyn says, have a fab week, peeps. Don't forget to the clock changes next weekend. Yes. Here in the UK, this is true. Nimue says, I get it. Typing is slowing things down as well. It's just always lovely to spend time with you guys. It is indeed. It is indeed. Mary says, have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Mary. You too. Alison says, good night, Sean and peeps. Stay happy. And Sean, please give me a cuddle from, please give Chi a cuddle from me, and Bink sends purrs. Thank you. And Joe says, don't forget to like. Yes, please do like the stream. I promise it helps. Coming back and commenting and saying you had fun as well also helps. Interaction helps. Anyway, I shall see you all next Sunday for a live hangout, and I will see you during the week for lots of waffle, fingers crossed, hopefully. Bye. And gracefully.